French President Emmanuel Macron welcomes Vietnam's Prime Minister Chinh in Paris. Vietnam in talks with Iran over seized oil tanker. Vietnam calls for investments in 157 projects during 2021 to 2025. Vietnam targeting carbon emission neutrality by 2050. And the country wins big at online world martial arts. Hello everyone, this is FBNC News. Now, French President Emmanuel Macron welcomed Vietnamese Prime Minister Chinh at the Elysee Palace for a working lunch on Thursday, November 4th. Chinh also met with French Prime Minister Chinh on Wednesday, November 3rd, to discuss cooperation on COVID-19 and the fight against climate change. Vietnam and France are strategic partners in the Indo-Pacific region and share economic interests. During his first official visit abroad, Chinh also attended on Wednesday Vietnam's Bamboo Airways signing of a memorandum of understanding with a joint venture between General Electric and Safran SA for the purchase of aircraft engines and equipment worth up to 1.73 billion euros. Vietnam has been in talks with Iranian authorities over the seizure last month of a Vietnamese oil tanker off the Iranian coast in an effort to guarantee the safety of the crew. Talks had taken place on a diplomatic level in Hanoi and Tehran to verify information and settle the incident to ensure safety and humane treatment for Vietnamese citizens. Vietnam Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Phạm Thu Hằng told a regular briefing. Hằng said the captain of the Vietnamese tanker, in a telephone call with the embassy on October 27, had confirmed all 26 crew had been treated well and were in good health. Hằng said the Foreign Ministry will continue to closely monitor the situation and work with Iranian authorities to settle the case in accordance to the laws, and at the same time will proceed with necessary measures to ensure the legitimate rights and interests of Vietnamese citizens. Moving on to economic news, Vietnam is calling for foreign investments in 157 projects in 2021 to 2025 period, according to a decision recently signed by Deputy Prime Minister Phạm Bình Minh. The projects are in various fields including transport, infrastructure, industrial and economic zone facilities, information technology infrastructure, waste and wastewater treatment, education and health, culture, sports, tourism, agroforestry, fishery, production and services. Despite impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, the inflow of foreign direct investment into Vietnam still rose 4.4% year-on-year in the first 9 months of this year to $22.15 billion. An upturn was recorded in both values of investment to new projects as well as additional capital to existing ones. Specifically, $12.5 billion were poured into more than 2,000 newly licensed projects, up 20.6% over the same period last year, while $6.4 billion were added into underway projects, a rise of 25.6%. About 200 contracted factories that make sportswear for Nike across Vietnam have resumed operations after months of COVID-19 suspension as it races to get its key manufacturing sector back on track. Nearly 80% of Nike's footwear makers and half of its apparel providers in Vietnam were forced to halt production in mid-July, which came after authorities had imposed restrictions on movement to stop a major outbreak of spreading. Almost half of the American sports giant's footwear is made in Vietnam. And Vietnam, until the middle of this year, had among the world's best coronavirus containment records with limited disruption to its crucial manufacturing sector. However, that changed after May when an outbreak emerged in its southern economic hub, Ho Chi Minh City, and spread to surrounding manufacturing provinces. The government-induced shutdown led to pressure from foreign business groups, which warned they could shift operations abroad. Those curbs were lifted a month ago, but the country is now facing labor shortages. At least 3 million people in Vietnam work in textiles and footwear manufacturing. The country has also prioritized vaccinating employees working in industrial parks to spur manufacturing activities. Nike will continue to expand investment and production in Vietnam, the government said in its statement, which followed a meeting between Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and Nike's Chief Sustainability Officer Hoi An on the sidelines of the COP26 summit. Now, Vietnam is targeting carbon emission neutrality by 2050, the country's industry and trade minister said on Monday, joining scores of countries that have pledged to halt emissions by mid-century or thereabouts in order to stop global warming. Nguyễn Hồng Diên, speaking at a roundtable on the sidelines of a UN climate conference in Glasgow, said Vietnam will embark on a roadmap to reduce coal-fired power generation. Instead, the country aimed to double the installed wind and solar power generation capacity to 31 to 38 gigawatts by 2030. He said, world leaders are gathering in Glasgow to take steps into cap global warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, a level scientists say would avoid its most destructive consequences. Vietnam Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, also speaking at the roundtable, called for fairness and equality from developed countries in tackling climate change. Vietnam has said it needs funds, technologies, and expertise from global investors to achieve the ambitious clean energy targets. The central province of Quảng Nam, home to the World Cultural Heritage Sites of Hoi An, Ancient City, and Mission Sanctuary, will pilot a program to welcome international tourists back from this month as the COVID-19 pandemic is put under control in the locality. The pilot program will be implemented in 3 phases. The first phase starts from November only for those who use combo packages and visit several selected destinations, such as Hoi An, Ancient City, and Mission Sanctuary. The second phase, starting from January 2022, expects to welcome more arrivals through chartered and regular commercial flights. After completing a 7-day tour in the first destination, tourists can visit several destinations in Da Nang City and Kiên Giang, Khánh Hòa, and Quảng Ninh provinces. In the third phase, full reopening will be decided based on the pandemic's developments and the results of the 2 previous phases. Foreigners and overseas Vietnamese must have a certificate of full vaccination recognized by Vietnam's authorities. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is temporarily recognizing vaccine passports of 72 countries and territories and is in discussions with nearly 80 others on mutual recognition for the vaccine passport. You're watching FBNC News. Now, the Vietnam Cultural Heritage Space exhibition will be held in both in-person and virtual formats by the Vietnam Exhibition Center for Culture and Arts from November 22, according to the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism. Accordingly, the exhibition will be open to public from November 22 to 27 at the Vietnam Exhibition Center for Culture and Arts in Hanoi, while the online form is conducted from November 22 to the end of December. On websites of the center at triển lãm vhnt.vn and of the Department of Cultural Heritage at dsvh.gov.vn. The exhibition, which is to be held on the occasion of the Vietnam Cultural Heritage Day, which is on November 23rd, introduces Vietnamese intangible cultural heritage that has been honored along with the traditional costumes and musical instruments used in the heritage, including the Tây Nguyên cultural space of Gồng in Tây Nguyên, Bắc Ninh love duet singing, and the đơn ca tài tử music, and songs of southern Vietnam. Particularly, the exhibition will highlight the Tam Phu Mother Goddess worshipping ritual of Vietnamese people, alongside cultural heritages in different localities, along with their typical traditional handicraft products, cuisines, and specialties will also be introduced. Along with indoor section, the exhibition also has outdoor areas featuring products of traditional craft villages of Vietnam. The event aims to introduce, promote, and honor cultural values of Vietnam to people inside and outside of the country, while helping raise public awareness and responsibility in preserving and developing the values. Vietnam won big at the online World Martial Arts, which wrapped up on November 2nd. The country earned 5 gold, 7 silver and 4 bronze medals in the 5-day virtual competition that saw over 3,300 athletes from all over the world competing in 10 categories. Vietnam took part in 3 categories: Courage, Judo and Traditional Martial Arts. The Vietnamese Courage team brought home 4 gold and 1 silver medals. Judo grabbed 1 gold and 3 medals, while the Traditional Martial Arts team won 3 silver and 4 bronze medals. Now this has come to an end of FBNC News today. Thank you for watching and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time. Goodbye.